For the love of Dallas. Building empowered communities by highlighting those who donate their most precious resource, time. Welcome to the show For the Love of Dallas. I'm your host, Lauren Davis, and today we have a very special guest. And he actually has two names. He was formerly known as Nathaniel Prescott, but when 2013 came around, Dak hit the scene his sophomore year at Mississippi State, he became Dak's dad. So welcome to the show, Dak's dad.
Thank you, Lauren. A pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Well, you're here because you run Dak's Foundation, which is Faith, Fight, Finish Foundation.
Yes, ma'am.
How did that come to be? How did Dak want to start that? I mean, we were talking off air, and y'all are some of the most lovely people, and we have friends in common, family in common, and you're just such good people. Tell me how this came about.
And you're making me blush, you can tell. But actually, the name Faith, Fight, and Finish, Dak's mom labeled each one of the boys. Dak was Faith, Tad was Fight, and Jace was Finish. And so, like I said, upon her getting sick, again, right around his freshman, sophomore year, when she told us all that she had cancer, she told him every great had a story. Mm-hmm. And she asked him to allow her to be his story. Oh. A hard fight, and yes, a hard one, but he took it on, and I mean, head on. So like I said, needless to say, once he got to where he was and got established in the league, in her honor, he decided to establish the foundation. And again, named after him and his two brothers, Faith, Fight, and Finish.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't even know if we're gonna get through this intro without crying. That is so beautiful. Your family is so strong. Can you give us a window into you being a father? I know you were at every game. I think that's kind of how you got the name, Dak's dad. They have placeholders for you. People clear the way for you. Well, can you give us an insight into your family? Because the little you share with me is just so inspirational, and I think our world needs more families like yours, more present fathers.
Thank you, ma'am.
And mothers.
Peggy and I were high school sweethearts.
Oh my gosh.
And at a time that it was actually taboo, but like I said, we fought through all of that, and out of that union, we were blessed with three beautiful boys. Dak being the baby of the family, Tad being our firstborn, and like I said, got married just a couple weeks ago. I said, thank God for that union. Yeah. But still known as Miss Peggy's firstborn. You know, and she said he was so much like me that, I mean, you couldn't come at Tad without a crossword. You were going to get a fight. And so needless to say, that he just became the fighter. He was a little fighter. And then we was blessed with Jace, and Jace's nickname was Moose. He was born at 10 pounds, 6 ounces.
Oh my gosh.
His aunt walked in and said, that's not a baby, that's a moose. And
oh my gosh.
So she went out that day and bought him a little shirt because, again, none of the little shirts that they had at the baby would fit him. So she bought him a little moose shirt, and it stuck. And then last but not least, here come our little Dak, and we swore it was going to be a little girl. Like I said, we had our two boys, and she kind of wanted a little girl. And she said the pregnancy was totally different. And she said, he's just so, and I kept saying that, oh my God, it's going to be a little fast little girl, you know, it's going to be the death of me, you know, just trying to keep up with it. But lo and behold, here come Dak, you know, I mean, thank God it wasn't Jethrine, you know. Because, but no, him coming along, and like I said, just being 4 and 5 years younger than the two brothers, but always had to be right there with them. I mean, he would take the knocks, the bumps, the bruises, and she told him early in life that if you're going to cry, then you can't play with your brothers. If you can't keep up, you know, because mom's not going to listen to that.
Yeah.
You know? And so he immediately took it on, like every little bump and bruise, you see him in the corner and going back at it, you know.
Suck it up.
Suck it up. And so he did. And like I said, we just had such a tight little knit group, and moved up in Shreveport area, a little town called Halton, which was kind of like our little hometown that Peggy and I grew up in. We originally moved to Shreveport, which is kind of fast. I mean, a little too fast. My oldest actually walked up on a drug addict who had overdosed.
Oh, gosh.
And I mean, so weeks later we moved out of that neighborhood to the country. Like I said, we're country people, so we went back to the country.
I'm from the country, I know that, I love it.
You know that, like Starkville.
Yes.
So it was Halton High, and like the little small community again that everybody rallied around. And we still today in Shreveport, I mean here in Dallas with us, have probably 6 to 8 kids, boys, young men now. Either they played Pop Warner ball or high school ball. They all followed us here.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I want to know more about Peggy. I know she was the inspiration for the foundation. And for you, if you'll say it again, for what she told Dak when she discovered she had cancer.
Peggy was the ultimate football mom. Like I said, she and I started dating in high school when I was a star. And so,
before you were Dak's dad.
Before I was Dak's dad, you know. And so she followed me. She wore my leather jacket, which was, covered with all the patches and everything. And like I said, so she knew football. And when they started playing, I wanted to coach. I think I got to coach Chad and Jace for about a year. And then mom being mom, she outlawed that. Said I could not be their coach because I was too rough on them, And she wanted somebody else to coach them. And we often laugh because all the coaches said the same thing, that they didn't coach her. She coached him.
Oh my gosh, I love
right.
it.
She took the
Strong
job.
woman.
Right. She took the job from me and she became the coach. It was so like Jace. He was just this man of a man. Jace, 6'8", 300 plus pounds, and still a gentle giant, but if his mom saw the play not going just well, you hear her over everybody else, Jace McKenzie, Prescott, if you don't. And then the next play, you saw reaction. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. It was the same way when Dak got to Starkville. She told the coaches, my baby's coming there, but I expect this, that, and the other. Yes, ma'am, Miss Prescott. Yes, ma'am, Miss Prescott. So,
wow.
Like I said, she was very hands-on. And like I said, we thought Jace would be the first in the league because, like I said, he was just
his size,
he was
right?
that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, big guy.
But he damaged both knees, and so it's such the heartbreak.
Gosh, that's just such a big deal for a kid whose football, is life,
yes,
and their, hopefully maybe their career in the future.
It later took its toll on Jace.
Oh my gosh.
But as Dak, like I said, progressed into school, and like I said, it was his sophomore year that we found out that she was ill and how bad it was. She told him, she said, baby, you're going to be great. We sensed it since you were a little one. She said, so every great has a story. She said, just allow me to be your story, as hard as it is.
I just had chills, just go head to toe. Every great
and
has
if you
a
look
story.
back, it's true. If you look back, it's true.
And that's the essence of the organization, is overcoming adversity.
Yes, ma'am. And exactly, after watching his mom going through the struggles and everything, he promised that anything he could do to help anybody else, he would do that. So the foundation was established mainly on cancer research, cancer funding. We help families just get to doctor's appointments. It's the little things, because we weren't able. Like I said, insurance only pays so much. So it was a struggle, just gas alone sometimes. We also fund scholarships for kids or doctors going into it. We every aspect that we can, cancer all the way we're in. We partnership with Stand Up for Cancer, because again, any organization that we can, we're part of the Red Dress Foundation for the ladies, the Pink for the breast cancer.
A true team player in this space, as one would expect, because you're a football family,
right?
And that just makes sense. You know what it means to be part of a team. I would love people to know about the Cowboys part of Dak's story, and how you were a Cowboy fan from an early age, and then some people may think that you're a fan because Dak has been so special to the Cowboys, but really,
I actually say I scarred the kid, or like I said, permanently put it on his brain. But I was probably one of the biggest Cowboy fans ever, just from my grandpa's influence, and that was during Coach Tom Landry days. My grandpa, right? He was. Next to God, it was only Tom Landry. Okay, my grandpa just lived by that. Sad to say, when Jerry Jones purchased the team, my grandpa jumped off the bandwagon.
Oh no!
And it was only because he was one of those loyalists that you don't fire Tom Landry with 29 years. You know what I'm saying? My grandpa just felt like you let Tom come in for that 1 year so that he finished with 30 years and he walked away. Yeah. But it wasn't done that way. Jerry always does things his way.
Yeah.
And from that moment, my grandpa swore off the team.
Well, Cowboys can be a little polarizing sometimes. You're a fan, or sometimes you're like, oh, the Cowboys.
That's how you know the true fans.
Yes.
We don't waver. 1 in 15, I was still there, still putting on my jersey, still taking all the ridicule.
So then that translated over into Dak.
Right. He sided with Pops. He was always there. So his little bedroom, his curtains, his sheets, his pillowcases was all Cowboys. Yeah. Then when we got to the point, 1 year, like I said, we bought him the race car, the Hot Wheel race car set. And I'm up the night before
For
doing
Christmas.
the loop-de-loop. Yeah, for Christmas. Got it running up the wall. I mean, I'm proud of my work because I put a little work in, you know. And
It's
I know,
work.
Yeah, it's work. You know, snapping all these pieces together. And I'm thinking the next morning, surely my kid is just going to be having the time of his life.
Yeah.
So Mom and I come around the corner and we hear not a single car on the track. And then I look up and the tractor's shoved in the corner. Oh my God, what's going on? And then I come around and see him on his little knees, and he's got an offense and a defense with his Matchbox cars.
Oh my God.
And it's like, did we tap into the wrong thing or what? It's definitely not about cars, it's about football. So the next year he got his little Troy Aikman, the helmet, the number 8 jersey, and the whole little uniform, you know, they had it for the kids. And he's at his brother's practice one day. We put him in for a play, and right after the play, he hollered, Daddy, I'm going to be quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's like, son, yes, you are.
Wow.
Thank God, look at us today.
God is so good.
So good.
He
God
says you
is
speak
so
it
good.
there and I will
Yes,
give
ma'am.
it. Yes, and I see it now. He has his number and I see it on your lapel so
Yes,
beautifully.
ma'am.
He has a 4. So kids all around Dallas
Wearing that
have
number.
a DAC 4.
And it's so, you have just no idea. And again, I
So
go back
cool.
and think about how proud my grandpa would be
Oh,
to see his name on a Cowboy jersey.
up in heaven. I mean,
That's the one that gets me the most.
oh my gosh, you know Peggy and Papa are up there.
Laughing together. Best of friends.
Colin plays.
Best of
Say
friends.
Colin
And that's a whole nother story I have to tell you because, again, he and her were just like that. I mean, my grandpa and her were just so, I mean, if she called, I was in trouble.
Yeah.
Boy, Peggy called, I was like, wait a minute,
Is that
Papa,
the secret
hold
to
up.
a long marriage and a
Hold
great
on,
family?
Papa.
Wife has a father-in-law on speed dial.
Grandfather.
Get him
Grandpa.
in.
It was grandpa. It was grandfather.
Grandpa.
Yeah, and I mean, oh my God. Yeah.
That's right, Papa. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just so inspired. I think your family is so beautiful. It is just such a treat to get to hear the inside of your family because a lot of people will see Dak and see you and say, oh, it must be a certain way, or, you know, we make assumptions off of people's end result and
Yes, ma'am.
and we forget the journey. And your foundation is the manifestation of the journey. It's so beautiful. I can't wait. We're going to take a quick break and
Yes, ma'am.
transition into getting into all about the foundation. I'm just so
good.
excited. I'm sure it's going to be filled with amazing stories.
Looking
We
forward.
could stand here all day talking about Dak's dad and
Yes,
Dak
ma'am.
because y'all are just, you know, what Dallas is all about.
And like I said, let it be known, I am not a fan because he's the quarterback of the Cowboys.
Yeah, you were a fan long before.
He's happy to be the quarterback because he was raised a Cowboy fan.
Well, I love that. I love that. And
yeah.
so with that, we're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor and come back with Dak's dad. Hey guys, Ben and Lauren here again to tell you about another line from Rascal Man. It is a face line. Men, Ben, you know this. You should be exfoliating and washing your face and moisturizing.
We just don't do it though. We don't do it.
No, you don't. And ladies, I'm here to tell you, buy it for your man, make him wear it. And the number one thing that they should add to their routine is eye cream. Eye cream. Ben, did you use eye cream this morning?
Admittedly, I didn't. I usually do, but I did not do it this morning.
Well,
Are you going to help me out?
yeah, I'm just
Okay.
going to embarrass you right here on this show. Women, don't let your men walk out with bags and dark circles under their eyes. And Ben, remember, don't manhandle it here.
Okay.
Dab it in real light.
Yep. I got it. Ain't my first rodeo. Got this.
And they instantly go away. So go to rascalman.com or the Jen's Place and pick up your products today. Welcome back to the show for the love of Dallas. I'm Lauren Davis, your host, and we're back with Dak's dad, formerly known as Nathaniel.
Thank you, Lauren.
And we want to get into faith, fight, finish. That's your foundation, named after your 3 beautiful boys, which was so cool to learn.
Thank you.
So tell me, I know you have 4 pillars.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I'd love to jump in because those are extremely meaningful causes to you.
Yes, ma'am. It is Faith, Fight, and Finish Foundation, which was established in honor of his late mother, Peggy. We lost Peggy to colon cancer, and that being our primary pillar, cancer research and cancer foundation. Any funding that we can do to help. Also, just to invest in research. Also, our next pillar is mental health and suicide prevention.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Jace in 2020 to suicide. Jace was a football player, like I said, a man that made me look small.
Yeah.
He got injured both knees, got hooked on pain pills, so often the case, was fighting that addiction. And Jace was at home with his mom when she took her last breath. All of that combined, it just kind of weighed on him. Like I said, he and Dak were probably best of friends. Dak still said that Jace was his counselor. That's who he went to because he was, just a brother ahead of him. And although Dak had the master's degree in psychology, Jace was that go-to. So he tried to get Jace to talk to someone else, and he never did. So like I said, with all of that overtaking him, he took his own life. So like I said,
So
mental
sorry.
health and suicide prevention is one of those pillars that we stand strong behind. A couple of weeks ago, we did a joint venture with Solomon from the Chiefs football team. He and his family went through the same thing where his sister committed suicide. So like I said, we take that strong at heart. Our other pillar is bridging the gap between young kids and the police department.
Oh, that's important.
Very important. After George Floyd lost his life, it hit Dak hard. I mean, just to watch that go on. And it was already a stigmatism, especially with black kids, that cops are bad. Cops are bad. All cops aren't bad. I
Right.
mean, all cops are not bad. It's just like anywhere else you go in life. You're going to have bad seeds in everything.
Yes.
Some people are going to just do bad things.
It's a fallen world.
It's a fallen world. So again, we here in the last couple of years have been getting with a bunch of the high schools, like high school championship football teams, and we'll have them come together with the police association, Dallas Police Association,
Oh, love them.
Fort
Dallas
Worth, yes,
Association.
ma'am,
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
Shout out.
Chief
Shout
Noakes,
out.
Chief Noakes,
Yes.
and all those guys that, like I said, have been great for us. But we just bring them together and let them see the common people. For one, we have the police officers dressed like in hoodies,
Yeah.
T-shirts.
We're humans. We're human friends. Yes. Yeah.
And the kids don't know who they are. And they start interacting, and then they find out it's like, oh my God, he's a cop. After an hour and a half, they've been interacting, listening to the same music, and then they
Wow.
see
I
him in a
love
total
it.
different
That
light.
approach.
And it works because again, all guards are down. We're
Yes.
coming in we're having them come in, inviting them to come out and eat. We're gonna play tug of war. Like Tina was in earlier. I'm always on a tug of war team, or I got a hula hoop trying to do something with the
That's
kids
so fun.
just to make it fun. But like
Yeah.
the cops are the same way. They let their guards down. They're not there with any badges or anything saying that I'm a cop. And it's so funny when you see a kid look at an officer and they're listening to the same rap music. And it's like, oh my God, you listen to that? It's like, yeah, why not? And it's just all of a
We
sudden
make
a
so
bond
many
is developed.
assumptions.
Yeah,
Exactly,
they connect.
but
We're just people.
And when it comes down to it, when all the barriers are down, when all the clothing is removed, we're all just people.
Yeah.
And it's so
That's
fun there.
awesome.
And our last one, like I said, is just to help in any kind of way that we can, offer assistance in life-changing challenges that are out there for
Hardships.
everybody.
Yeah, because
Hardships.
your family's, I'm sure, been blessed during these times of hardship when Peggy was going through cancer. That was when Dak was in college. I
ma'am.
mean, and
Yes,
in his
ma'am.
prime kind of years of his upcoming career, was a community and inspiration. I
Thank-
know Starkville because some of my
Thank
family's from
God, yes.
Starkville.
Oh, you're
We know
preaching.
that.
You are preaching.
I can only imagine they came around you. Is that part of
Thank
the
God for that little
inspiration?
community in Starkville, and again, the little hometown that Peggy and I grew up in,
Yes.
a little town called Vinton, Louisiana. We sit right on the border of Texas. We're 23 miles west of Lake Charles.
Mhm.
But the two little communities, yes, helped in so many ways. Like I said, sometimes just getting back and forth to the football games became a challenge because we wanted her there as often as she could be. But again, that community made sure that wheelchair ramps, vans, whatever it took, they got us there, and always had mine and her section reserved to where we were showered with love. During the game, people were bringing us food and drinks and just mementos and just how much they loved Dak. It was just the outpouring of affection. Thank God again. And like you said, just the monetary challenges. I can't tell you how many times, we got envelopes that we didn't even know who they were from, just anonymous.
Wow.
And right. It was shocking, but it was just so why who are we not to give back when we had that much love showed upon us? We were just a family with a kid in college. Dak wasn't famous. He was just a kid starting off in Starkville. Thank God it worked out the way he did. But again, they loved us just for who we were. After Peggy passed and I started bringing other family members, I chose to sit in a different area of the stadium. They found me. That group
Oh my
found
gosh.
and bro, it's like, what are you doing? You belong to us. It's like, yeah, I know. It's like, no, even though Miss Peggy's not here, you're going to sit right here. And it was stuff like that. So all those years, like I said, I had a reserved spot that said Dak's dad. It was either standing or sitting, but that no one violated that area because again, it was just so much respect.
Wow. Wow. So tell us a little bit more about some of the ways on the different pillars, whichever one you want to speak on, that what are the ways you're involved in the community? Or is it fundraising, galas? What are some of the activities that your foundation does? Because one of the goals of the show, as I say every time, is to inspire people to take action. I believe that Dallas, and doesn't get any more Dallas than the Prescotts now, right? You're it. Is Dallas will become a better place if more people give time. We want to inspire time donors. We're not calling them volunteers anymore. We're elevating.
Time donors.
We're elevating because it is a donation of your most precious resource, which is your time, no matter who you are. Dak has 24 hours, Ann has 24 hours, and how you spend it and what you get done in a day is your life
more
is
valuable than any dollar.
more valuable than money, because I could give 100, you could give 100,000. You never know if that was a stretch, but you know when your time is a stretch. So I want to know, how does the foundation spend its time? How do you spend its time?
And happy to say again, we're funding cancer research, all aspects of it. Yes, ma'am. We're funding grants and scholarships for new medical students coming in. We're also assisting families. Like I said, if you reach out and just say, mom has, and it doesn't have to be colon cancer, whatever the situation is, if it's that C word, that dreaded C word, you can reach out to our foundation and we will cut checks to get you there, to get you to your doctor's appointment, to get you to pay for medication, whatever is necessary. Again, he is so blessed. And that's what, God has given him a platform, the foundation and the funds to be able to do, like I said, to help like he was helped, like his mother was helped. So we're out there. We're also the championship football teams we have coming up in a couple of weeks. I think it was 5 that we had from our area this year, high school teams. We're going to have all 5 teams come together for one event just to show our appreciation for them. I mean, again,
it's the little things, right? And it's just the little things.
Yes.
That makes such a big difference.
We're trying to inspire future football players. I mean, these are ball players, again, that they already think the world of Dak. So, like you said, some of his time, 12 hours his day, he loved to spend time with these kids just to show them. And his famous word is, no, don't say you're going to be the next Dak. He didn't want to hear that. Because, again, like I told you, when he said, I'm going to be the next quarterback, he didn't say I was going to be the next Tom Landry or Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the next quarterback. He wants whoever you are to stand strong in who you are and be that person. So, and like I said, we're doing all kind of fundraisers all the time. We have the big Faith, Fight, and Finish gala coming up in 2 weeks. It's going to be our 3rd year. It should have been 5, but because of COVID and other things, we backed up a couple. But doing that, we auction off, talk about time. You can bid on a weekend deep sea fishing trip with Dak and his brother Tad, who are avid fishermen.
What?
And I mean, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, everyone needs to get to the fundraiser and bid on that. Who wouldn't want to do that?
One of many events, okay? We also have a one-on-one experience with Dak. You and Dak go to the Star, and y'all spend all day throwing the football back and forth and signing autographs and stuff like that. Dak is big into four-wheelers. Also, I think it's the Razor Company, the big Razor Company. They build a four-wheeler for us every year. That's auctioned off there. He has an autograph on. He takes pictures with you and everything. Our goal this year is to raise $1 million.
Wow.
The last 2 years, we've gone a little over 900,000. So we know
we're
going to get $1 million. That's our goal. So again, we're inviting you to come out. One of them maybe they're talking about this year. I'm somewhat of a chef. And I fed the Cowboys organization a couple of times. They love my gumbo.
So multifaceted. I know.
So we're talking about maybe an experience to where you can come in the kitchen with me and spend a day with me cooking, and then at night eat gumbo with Dak. So if you have any opportunities or experiences like that you're willing to offer to us to raffle off, we would offer you 2 tickets to our gala to come and join us. I mean, again,
there's a lot of really cool people that listen to this program that certainly has many things that they can donate. I think that's going to be awesome.
We have several steakhouses who have contributed. We have a couple different tailors who have contributed. So like I said, we're open to whatever.
And I think Nathan and Warner is going to go. What do you think?
Yes.
I feel like it's right up your alley.
I think the day with Dak throwing the football around, it's
going to get an investment from the Stone family.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't admit Jerry also steps up every year.
I bet he does.
He offers Cowboy Suite tickets.
Oh, wow.
Tickets and the game, so you can bring like a family of 20 or more. You know, you get your own personal suites just for the game. Also, that comes with autographed memorabilia from Dak. So there's so many different things. We have
Very cool.
one of Dak's protege, we call him, a guy he met when he was at Mississippi State, born with no arms,
Oh, wow.
but paints with his feet.
Really?
The Jones purchased 2 of his paintings a couple years ago for over $50,000, and he went just from an art student to an artist overnight.
Whoa.
So again, it's just you just never know what you won't see or run into at these experiences. We've had ski trips that included the ski lodge, the chef, and everything for a week. I mean, we have several.
Okay, that is like the hottest gala in Dallas. I must say, I've been to a few
Pretty
these
much
days.
blown everyone else's out of the water.
I think I got something for you 2 ladies, and I left it for last. How about a shopping spree in either New York or California?
I'll buy one. You buy one.
Rodeo Drive in
Take
New
me.
York, or New York, California, or in New York.
Okay,
Wow.
y'all know how to put on a gala. I must say,
try.
that's some of the best stuff to bid on I've ever heard.
Thank
I
you.
totally agree.
Thank you.
You're also just a genuine bright light of positivity, and it's founded by faith.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Oh
And-
my God, my grandma would be so happy to hear you say that.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
And you're
ma'am. Thank you.
I don't know your family, but just all of the stories that you've shared today, you have embodied all of that.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
So I'm so pleased to meet you today. And, your messaging for your foundation is adversity, make adversity your inspiration.
Yes,
And you
ma'am.
embody
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
And
Thank you.
I was really curious about other people you all have met through this process and through your journey with your organization that probably have shared some pretty amazing stories.
Yes, ma'am. Matter of fact, 3 weeks ago, we were down in Huntsville Prison. Dak and I were inside the walls, and
Wow.
an experience for him. Me, like I said, former military, I actually worked at Leavenworth Prison, the prison. So, like
Oh
I said,
my
I'm very
gosh.
accustomed to it. But I knew it was going to be an eye-opening event for him. But we have a young man, reformed inmate, reformed prisoner. His name is Damon West. And if you have a moment, look Damon up. He wrote a book called The Coffee Bean Effect. And it's talking about how going into the incarcerated society, how you change society or you let it change you. And like a
Yes.
coffee bean, when you put it in hot water, it doesn't change, it changes the water. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and that's the other pen I'm wearing now. We're actually working with Damon West and the prison reform system on helping inmates when they come out to have a start in life. You know, we're funding for them to go to school after. And what it was, we actually went to their first high school graduation. After high school, they got their GED. Then they roll into a technical program. And they're either coming out with truck driving skills or chef skills or something to where it's not so hard once you get out to where
Yeah.
everything's working against you. And then again, it's society, but we have to be able to offer them a second chance. And it's just people like Damon we've come in, people like Corey Borner that we've
Corey
come in.
Warner, yes, we have
Corey,
that connection in
want
common.
to talk about a light, okay? I mean, what happened to Corey, to see how it happened and to see him just, nothing knocks him down. I mean, every
No.
time I'm talking to Corey, it's like, he's a positive.
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
He's on
no
fire.
doubt,
I
no
watch his
doubt, man.
videos. I follow
Yes.
his posts. Like, he's on fire.
And
Yeah.
so that was one of the things that we got with Corey. We were trying to get a fundraiser to buy the musculoskeletal systems.
So he can walk.
But not just him, because see, Corey has the advantage of knowing Dak and Zeke.
Yeah.
So Corey has access to it.
Yeah.
But what about all the people who don't know
Exactly.
Dak and Zeke? Those are the people that we want to help.
We have to make a way.
We have to
make a way for
and-
others. It's
and-
not just about ourselves.
And that's what I'm saying, you know, not just for the fortunate. And then me being one of those people, like I said, I'm so blessed now. I'm sitting in a position now. Thank God my son has told me, Pops, you will never work another day of your life. I've come here and tried going to work twice. And he come to the job and fired me.
No.
Kind of embarrassing.
What?
Come to the job. I'm personally like, he don't work here anymore. I'm like,
I
oh my
loved
God.
him before, but I feel like people are going to be like his celebrity's going to
And
go
they're like,
next
well,
level
who's
because
the
they're like,
father? Who's the son? It's like, well, right now he can be the father. Okay, I'm not working
such a
anymore.
good man.
But-
You've raised such good men.
Thank you, ma'am. But no, again, we're just taught to, like I said, take care of one another, help all that you can. You know?
I love that. I want to know a little bit more about your son that you lost to suicide, because that is one of the number one killers right now. I come from a family of addiction. My dad was in prison. He lost his life by addiction, not by suicide,
God.
but a car wreck. I
Yes,
lost him
ma'am.
young. And so I understand that grief of the addiction and that loss, at least from a father-daughter angle. And
But still, the lost, you and I are part of a fraternity and a group that we choose
yes,
not to be a part of, but we are. So
right.
we're forever connected. Okay,
It's
and that was Jace. I mean, he was, like I said, our gentle giant, because Jace could stand above me and put his chin on my head and
yes.
say, "Hey, Pops, how
And
are
you're
you?"
pretty tall.
And I'm pretty tall,
Wow.
okay?
Yeah.
And it was always just such a good feeling. And Dak always talked about the hug that Jace gave, because, like I said, he was just such a big man, and he just made you feel
Sometimes
loved.
the ones who, and my dad was like this, who are the most empathetic and who are the lovers who struggle the most because they are so connected.
And
It almost can be tormenting when it becomes too
chose
much.
to keep it internally, just
Yes.
internalize it, would not talk about it. You know, it was just
So
subtle signs
painful.
that he was putting out. Like, I'm not on any social media
Mhm.
because, you know, I'd be looking for people on social media.
Yeah.
They're very brave on that side of the screen.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm not one
Keyboard
of those guys.
warriors got it.
But
Yeah.
Jace had his, you know, his different sites, and I have friends, and they were saying, you know, they're looking at posts like he was questioning, why was he still here? Why would
Oh.
God take his mom and not him?
Mm.
And it was little things like that, you know, but he was internalized, but he wouldn't talk about it, you know,
Yeah.
and
Trauma is real. It's
yes,
real for
ma'am.
everyone. It doesn't matter what it was. It still hits your body and your nervous system the same. Whether it be, you witness something, these kids live in
And
some of the violent
it's the
communities.
post traumatic that we don't
Yes.
deal with,
And
you
it,
know.
it has affected so many people. I mean,
And during
my
COVID.
cousin committed suicide,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's, look at us. There's just three of us in a room together, and
And
we've
like I said,
gone
we're
through
forever, right?
horrific loss.
And my biggest fear and it's kids right now.
Kids, yes.
Jace fell in that, like I said, just
In the
turned
COVID
30,
kind of
30, yes, ma'am.
situation too.
But it's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
16 to 30, 31, 32 years of age. They're just starting to live their life, you know. And again, here we are talking about this past weekend. I lost another little cousin to
Oh.
drug dose of
So
suicide,
sorry.
you know. But again, you know,
It is an unfortunate reality in our society right now, and the mission of your foundation, overcoming adversity, that's key, because it's not if, it's when something's going to happen, right? We live in a fallen world. You can't make it through life without adversity, and having that tool set and those people to inspire you and come around you at those hard times are what get you through. And unfortunately, sometimes it's more than one soul can handle, and they unfortunately take
but
their life. But
and here we are talking about having the resources and the avenues
yes,
and everything. Again, this is a cousin who we had talked to about it,
definitely.
who was actually wearing one of Jace's shirts that said, "It's okay to say I'm not okay," and
How,
still didn't come and get it. You know,
what
it
do
was
you
right
think?
there.
I mean, you're in this work. What do we do?
If
Do you have that thought on
we
this?
just keep working. I
We
mean,
just
that's
keep
because
working.
again, it's not a simple fix. It's not
It's
I
not.
can put my hand on a button and it changes, or it would be changed. We just have to keep plugging. We just have to keep praying and keep working. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all we can do.
Yeah, that
Totally
is.
agree.
Yeah, a faith, and I guess that's the faith
Faith,
part.
fight, and finish.
Faith, fight, and
And
finish.
again,
Fight and
like
finish.
that's yes, ma'am. He lost his mother on a Saturday.
Mhm.
Well, Sunday morning. He played South Carolina that game, one of his worst games. He told me, he whispered in my ear prior to, Mom didn't call. And he sensed it. He lost her that night. We
Oh,
buried her on
it's
a
very
Wednesday.
connected.
The next Saturday, he was out there fighting to play because he said his mom wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow.
On it, and then he come back after playing his worst game at it. He played his best game at the 4 days after her funeral.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yes, continue to fight, keep the faith, and finish the job.
Oh, well, I love
Well,
that.
for our audience, how can they help support your organization?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and I have to go back and apologize one more. One of our biggest collaborator with us in our Faith Fight and Finish Foundation is Rhino Coffee. Just have to give him a shout out.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because I'd be remiss if I didn't. But all we're asking again is any type of support that you can offer, any time that you can give,
Mhm.
any resources. Like I said, I'll make sure you have all the information for the foundation, all the numbers you
Yes.
need, but any experience that you can offer for the gala. Like I said,
Okay.
that's the things that
Yeah.
we're looking for right now.
Clearly,
Uh,
y'all are number one in Dallas for that. So let's see what we can do.
You've set the bar very high.
Yes. And so people can get connected on the website. I was on the website. It had so much information, including an awesome video from Dak. And can you say the website? Is it
Faith Fight and Finish.
faithfightandfinish.org? .org?
Yeah, .org. Yes,
Dot
ma'am.
.org. Okay,
Yes,
I want to
ma'am.
make
Sorry.
sure.
Thank you.
FaithFightFinish.org.
Right.
So they can get connected
You
that
can
way.
get connected. Shannon is the young lady that her number is going to appear on there.
Okay.
But yeah, between Shannon and Jenny and myself, you guys are going to have my point of contact before I leave here.
Okay, great.
We'll definitely take care of you. Again,
Okay.
appreciate anything and everything you're willing to do.
Well, I love it. Well, Anne, I'm so grateful for you being here and livening up the conversation, and I love it. So thanks so much.
No problem. I've enjoyed being here today.
Yes, and thank you to Nathaniel.
No, ma'am.
For-
and I
for
definitely
being
have
here.
to say thank you for the love of Dallas. Appreciate
Yes.
you and my lovely hostess. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
It's been a
Well,
pleasure.
it's all about Dallas, and y'all couldn't be more Dallas. So I feel real honored to have you here. So
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, go Dak. But
Thank you.
well, thank you to our audience for listening, and I hope you were beyond inspired. I know I am. I have a newfound love for Dak and everything he's doing. Clearly, a family who is giving back. Too much is given, much is expected,
Yes, ma'am.
and that is just so evident. So I hope that you'll be inspired. I hope that you will look within your families and strengthen your faith. I hope that you will look at what you've been given and give as the Prescotts have. So please be inspired. Dallas is a very wealthy city. It's a very wealthy county, and let's live up to the standard that the Prescotts have set. So thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you again soon.